No, so it's like I just need this to be out there, and it's not a joke. Like I'm like, why would people just keep stalking? Okay, y'all. So I was in Texas, and um, while I was in Texas, I met this guy named Marcus Dwayne Wood. I was at this job, and I met him. So he needed a place to stay, but at that time he was like on codeine or something. So I'm telling every story for every person so y'all understand. So he on codeine, and he like trans people too. So the way I found out is I went down to the barbershop with him one day, and these guys at the barbershop started acting like me and him, like no, like they had already slept with me or something. I was like, no, I don't know you. Like I don't even come this way. I never went downtown Dallas. In I stayed where I stayed. I stayed like in Richardson, so all I did was just go back and forth to work. I didn't really explore. Like it wasn't like if you had to get directions when I was down there when I first started, you had to like actually go on MapQuest and print the stuff out. I wasn't really going out. I was just working, trying to get my hair done, working, trying to do my hair, working and trying to do my hair. That's it. Uh, so I let him live with me, and everybody was like, "No, don't let him live with you," because like I guess he had like problems. So he was telling me the problems. You see what I'm saying? So then I guess at some point when we went to Louisiana, that's when he got the stuff from the Sigmas, like talking about how they raped me and all this different stuff. So that's when I was like, that's when he started going through this is now listen, because some of this stuff is his MO as far as like going through people's stuff. So that's when he started going through my journal, and he started seeing that I was writing about how he was like mentally abusing me. So the mental abuse turned to physical abuse. Yeah, I already started as physical abuse. Now, one day we were like wrestling or something, and I was smiling because for me and my cousin used to wrestle, whatever. So that was it. But then that turned to really physical abuse, mental abuse, physical abuse. So I called my mom and daddy, telling them, they was like, he ain't doing nothing to you, and all this different stuff. So I write the letter. So this time when my cousin contacts me or whatever, she tell me that her husband had did this. He was beating her, and he stole some money from her and left. He cleared out the bank account, and he left. So I'm like, okay, so my mom, again, I told y'all the last video, my mom was trying to get my cousin to give me some money. My cousin don't trust my mom because my mom like to run cons and all that stuff too. You see? And my mama a lie. And then one time I got mad at my cousin because my mama was lying, saying that my cousin wasn't taking care of her daughter, and she was. Okay? So now, we get to this point where I'm just like, I gotta get this nigga out of here. So I wrote the letter. I wrote the letter because I gotta get him out of my fucking house. So when he was being abusive, somebody else called me up. I think it could be this girl named LaCrissa Stout or something like that. She called me up to her house and she was like, you have to leave him, because he is abusive. Who else told me that? My trans friend was telling me that. Like, you have to leave him. He is abusive. So I'm like, okay. So I wrote the letter, whatever, telling them everything that was going on, right? We go to court several times. They change the court date, all this different stuff. And they keep trying to act like it's like he just, like, he can't beat her, this and the other. So he really was trying to get them drugs out of his system, because if they ran a drug test, I'm pretty sure that's what it was. If they would have ran a drug test, they would have found he had drugs in his system. So, anyway, kept changing court date, can't change the court date. We finally get to court. I finally get a chance to get home to get my hair done. The girl told me, yeah, he pulled all your hair out the middle of your head. I was going to Dr. Black so I can get like shots and stuff in my head to get my hair back. This still all going on. At the same time, I'm talking to Eric Henderson on the phone. That's how the joke about, that's how I came up with the joke for what's his name? Kevin Hart. So I don't know if it was Kevin Hart or maybe Kevin Hart Entourage or something like that. I used to talk on the phone with him, so he just keep me laughing and stuff while I gotta go back and forth to court. In the middle of this, I meet, and I keep telling him I'm gonna be a teacher. So somebody wants to marry me too at some point, and they was like, well, you gonna be a teacher, this, that, and the other. And I was like, yeah. I said, so listen, I want to go out and get my own money and be my own person before you come in, because I had just been through this abusive shit with Marcus. You see what I'm saying? So me and Marcus finally get a closed side court date. What happens is they tell me that the judge says, well, if anything happens to her, then you going to jail. Okay? So now Marcus out of my heart. Now I meet Elder. Elder is like the millionaire person who was still working maintenance or whatever. And he was working maintenance just so he can keep busy, and the rent was really cheap. So he paid like $200 worth of rent, and he could just work on the property or whatever. And he was already there, so he just fixed stuff. And he was a manager for a long time somewhere else. So he was like, what you want to do with your life? And I said, this is where Moon come in, because Moon want to come in to be funny, but Elder was serious. He said, what you want to do with your life? I said, I want to be a teacher. I was working 4 jobs and going to grad school, okay? Before Elder happened, though, it was a girl from Louisiana. I want to make sure I put her in there, too. A girl from Louisiana came, and she was telling me that she had to work or something. Like, she was like... she didn't have the money, and some Indian girl left her on the floor by the trash can, sleeping in the kitchen. And she was waiting for the money from her uncle. So she kept telling me the same lie. Oh, he gonna send the money in a week. He gonna send the money in a week. Y'all, why one day I come home and it's something in the trash can from McDonald's. But she could have really just got on the bus and went to school and got her refund check. You see what I'm saying? So I put out. So now... Anyway, Elder comes and he's like, okay. For some reason, Elder wants to throw everything in my house away. Like, he don't even want me to bring nothing. He like, and I had some really nice stuff, you know. Like, I had the wet crate and borrow, all this different stuff. So I had some really nice stuff. So he tells me to throw everything away. The reason why I think they were already listening in that apartment is because sometimes people say things to me, and it's like I only said that on the phone with certain people. You see what I'm saying? So now, they already crossing the line. I get to the job or whatever. After I get my certification, I go to a job at Nova Academy. I'm with Region 10. They give me you are such a great teacher. I get all thumbs up. Right? So, and my scores show it too. So anytime I meet Tracy Davis, and Tracy, that's our first year of teaching, she is the one that wants the surgery, and she don't feel good about herself, and she too dark. And then that one day she just comes and say, you was talking about me. And I was like, no, I'm not talking about you. She just said, you talking about me. That's again when I was like, okay, they must got something in the apartment. They must, because I said, Tracy, I ain't never talked about you. Y'all, I never used to be at home in my apartment, right? Because I go to the gym, I go work out, all these different stuff. This girl kept saying that I was talking about her again in conversations from that apartment. This was somewhere in Dallas. It was the Rosemead apartment. So I'm just like, what is going on with this girl? So after that, I don't talk to her anymore. She moved to another part of Texas, and I don't talk to her. She come back one day, and I was pregnant, and she gave me $20 so we can go to some kind of carnival or something. That's when the situation with her car came up. I gave her this guy's number from Louisiana too, and somehow all of a sudden he just ended up stealing her car. So all this could really just be a big con game. You see what I'm saying? In that time, I meet Marla and Crystal. They start pretending they my friend. They come and meet Brandon because he come down there. Then you got Aaron Milam at the job trying to steal the emails, and Donna Woods trying to go through the emails too, trying to figure out what they gonna do. The whole time they recording something inside my apartment. All my conversations. You see? So then I also worked with some women at DISD. They probably could have went to my email too. This stuff is not a lie. So now I'm looking at this. I get to Confluence Academy, and that's where the guys start acting like I'm less than a teacher. Like I got a lot of problems or something. Like I got a lot of stuff going on. That's when they started stalking me because they were still in my apartment listening in Belleville. I kept going to the police telling them what was going on. Somebody was listening in my apartment. That's how somehow the conversation between me and my son ended up on the reel where Tamara's saying. Y'all get what I'm saying? So what is it? Now you just stole my writing, and let me keep going. So then I get to the St. Louis Public School. That's when Dr. Howard, you gotta write it down. You need to write it down. No, I don't. You shouldn't be stalking me. Why would I have to write down that you were stalking me? Yeah, like 2014. Again, they still listening in the apartment. The girl gonna come outside. That bitch called the police on me. I didn't, but since you wanna listen, I'm gonna go ahead and call them anyway. I went to the police station several times in Belleville. Then we moved to Frisco. All of a sudden, those people know something about me too. Could y'all please leave me the fuck alone? Because I ain't doing shit to you. You see what I'm saying? If you a criminal, be a fucking criminal yourself. You made the decision to do whatever the fuck you did. Leave me innocent. Get over your shit.